Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another NuubCast. This is Blamus, and we are on Blistering Sands, where we have Inferno spawning as the red Protoss, and his opponent, Hearth Vader, spawning as the blue Terran. Hearth Vader. I'm trying to think of... I think of hearth as something that's like warming and, I don't know. Anyway, hope you all had a good holiday. I am showing you this video for one very specific reason. It's kind of a reminder. It's a reminder to do something that we all know, but we all need to be constantly reminded of, we all need to be constantly aware of, constantly fighting to keep on top of, and I think you already, well, how could you possibly already know what it is? You could probably guess, though. And I'm going to do one thing to prove it. It's mAcro. It's making probes and making peons. Peons, probes, SCVs, drones, whatever it is that you gotta make. You gotta make them. Hearth Vader, obviously very new player. Inferno, recently promoted to silver. Doing 3-gate robo, nice build. But we're at the 8-minute mark, and Hearth Vader has completely stopped making SCVs. He's got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and a mule. He's managed to make an army. I won't say fairly decent, because if you look over here, well, I guess Inferno is not really going for army, although his army value is probably pretty high because these immortals are very expensive. But he's got his expansion out, and we're coming up on halfway through this game. And what I really want to do is speed through and show you, just to get a super picturesque. Okay, I'll show you the battle. Inferno comes in and just pretty much raffle stomps Hearth Vader. Let me even just back up, just so you can see it and enjoy, like, the actual point of StarCraft, which is the fighting. He's got immortals, not focus firing. Whatever. Inferno is able to focus fire, warping a couple guys from his piling up here, and he's good. Now, Hearth Vader is completely taken aback, and you'll see that later by the comments he makes to Inferno. But again, we're only halfway through this game. Not even quite halfway. Just hit the halfway mark. Inferno, third base. He's going to come out. He's going to hit this guy again. He's got stim this time. Immortals tanking, all kinds of damage. Again, some focus fire going, a little bit of micro going on. Moving back the wrong Immortal, but again, Inferno able to hold this back. No big deal. But Hearth Vader is having a lot of trouble making units because he only has 13 SCVs. And here again, Inferno on base number 3. It doesn't have incredible saturation, but he's making probes. He's making probes at that base, he's making probes at this base, he's making probes at this base. He's macroing. And once again, Hearth Vader, even fewer SCVs than before, still calling down the mules. Making another force, which is pretty much the same size as his other forces, and trying to bring them down to give battle. And I don't have to tell you what is going to happen. But I'll let you watch it just because it is what it is. Alright? I don't know what that force field is about, but whatever the case. We're going back to 8 speed, second robo, getting all these guys down. Still no second base. Got the most forces he's got to date coming out, and once again, just going to get stomped. Stomp, stomp, stomp. 3 bases, 1 base. Finally, you got a command center up for Darth Vader, but what the heck's he going to do with the command center? He's only got 9 probes, 9 SCVs. I'd like to know how you're producing all that much. Let me show you Darth Vader. 3 bases, going on a 4th. And there you go. Inferno knows what he's talking about in this particular instance. This guy going to come over, going to see the expansion. But just, I'm going to stop it right here. We don't need to look at anything else other than the fact we need to look at one thing. 9 probes. Let me look at a unit count. 17 total probes to nearly 60 probes. You know, that's all I got to say. He's going to come in here and try and clean this up. He's going to warp in some guys. He's going to kill him. That's going to be the end of the game. They're going to chat it up for a while. And because he's got observers out, he can see the field. He's got both Salmaga towers. He's able to... no problem. Inferno wins. But they talk for a while about this very concept. And at the end, Darth Vader doesn't even believe him. He's like, no, I don't believe that you could make that many guys. But he's only got 12 probes, 12 SCVs. And just look at the difference mAcro makes. Just for a second, you know, the reason why I want to talk about this is because, you know, it's something that we think about every day. It's something that we play with every day. But if you look at it at this grand of a scale, it really does picture, you know, it really does show you the vast, how important it is. Because scale it back now. Scale it back. Say, you know, even 4 more SCVs, you know, he's going to be able to make a considerably greater number of units. He gets this expansion, you know, at 10 minutes instead of 20 minutes. And he splits up his SCVs. Well, whatever. You don't need me to tell you this. But, and maybe I won't even post this video because it's so elementary. But this is what I would call a graphic example of something that we know to be true. It's like this would be my European drunk driving PSA, my public service announcement. Have you seen them? My goodness, they are so graphic. They are so, like, if you watch, like, look it up on YouTube. If you look like at the Australian drunk driving PSA, oh my goodness, I couldn't even watch it. It was so, like, and I've never walked out of a violent movie in my life, and I could not watch that thing. It was so violent, so, like, shockingly ridiculous. Maybe I'll find it and put a link to it in the description. But my goodness. But this is what that is right here. This is your shock into how important it is to make probes and to expand and have good, decent macro. And Inferno, he's still silver player, but man, if he keeps macroing like this, he's not going to be in silver for long. You go, boy. All right. This is for all you bronze and silver players who are still struggling with your macro. Practice macro. Go make a custom game to where all you do is make peons, and then play another game where all you do is make peons. Play another game. All you do is practice it, own it, get it right, and you will keep climbing that ladder.